Hello lovely people, welcome to my belated birthday haul.
Doobie 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 doo. Doobie 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 Sophie Vlogs.
Yeah, it was only belated insofar as I meant to post it closer to my actual birthday, which was the end of July, whereas it's now the end of August. But I'm very excited to just go through some of the things I got for my birthday, still riding that birthday high a month later. This is going to be like probably a long chatty one. I'm just guessing from how much like excitement I have to talk about. So maybe grab yourself a cuppa, maybe like settle on down, come along with me as I talk you through the birthday things. So there were quite a few books in this because what I ended up doing for my birthday is people gave me books for my birthday, as I'm sure you understand watching this. Like the unique thrill of being gifted books by anyone is just wonderful. So there's like books that people gave me, but for my actual birthday I went book shopping. Where I live there is like a little bit which has all these little cute like bookshops, a lot of them secondhand, some of them not. So like part of my birthday treat was that people also gave me money to do a day of book shopping. So I came away with some books. I'm going to talk about them. So I'm just going to stop faffing and go for it. First up are two books which my boyfriend gave me. My boyfriend's family are a family of like birthday lists. They give each other birthday lists. The people buy the things on the birthday lists. The birthday comes, they get everything they asked for. I prefer a surprise element. So what I now do is that I provide my boyfriend with a giant list that's like split by categories, and then it's got loads of stuff, and he can pick out one or two from like the categories or whatever. So then like he is happy because he's been given a guide, and then I'm happy because it's still a surprise and I don't know what I'm going to get until the day, and then he like throws in some real surprises as well. So like this is a rambly way of saying that he got me two gorgeous books because he chose the two books on the list which had the prettiest covers, and they've turned out really well. So preamble over. First book, The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, which hello gorgeous. And then if you follow me on any of my social media, you've already seen this because I was like, oh my god, because it has not only a map, but like context. This is a murder mystery. I'll give a plot setup in a minute, but murder mystery map of the grounds. I have read this one. This is one of my favourite books I've read this year already, and I will do a longer review and I will talk about in depth why and blah blah blah. All I will say for now is that this is a really unique and interesting murder mystery. Our main character is trying to solve the murder of Evelyn Hardcastle. However, he has to live the day over and over again. He only gets a set amount of time to do this. He gets put in a different body of a different person each day, and he has to try and piece together, use the skills of each individual person and not get too taken by like their flaws to try and solve the murder. And there's this whole, as I'm sure you're already thinking, like, what or how, what is going on? There's also, he's trying to figure out what is going on. And I won't say any more, but I will just say this was utterly fantastic, and I'm review to follow. So like boyfriend went in strong, like one of the best books I've read this year, like great. I'm also really excited about this one. This is The Illumination of Ursula Flight by Anna Marie Crowhurst. First of all, hello gorgeous cover again. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful. I think it was Jen. Oh god, I've got a brain blank. You'll know her. I'm saying this. She's the author of Franklin's Flying Books. Jen Campbell, who I think it was Jen Campbell's channel that I saw this on. But 17th century coming of age tale that is at once subversive, moving, and utterly fresh and original. My knowledge of this is it's to do with like illuminating manuscripts, restoration theatre, all of these gorgeous, gorgeous topics, and about Ursula, and she's like trying to take to the stage and all stuff like this. So this seems like a juicy, delicious, like restoration sort of novel. So I'm really excited to come to this soon. I'm definitely going to prioritise it because it looks so beautiful. Following on from that, my dad gave me Nikolai Dante, Too Cool to Kill. For context, I've mentioned it before a couple of times on this channel, my dad is a really big 2000 AD fan. He bought the comics for years and years and years and years. And Nikolai Dante has always been one of our favourites. I entered the Nikolai Dante story halfway through because I just started reading his 2000 ADs when I was like old enough to be interested in them. And I've still not read the conclusion of this, although I do know what happens. So my dad very, very kindly last birthday he got me, or Christmas, can't remember, he got me The Ballad of Halo Jones, which is another 2000 AD classic. And I think he's just going to continue to use special occasions to give me like 2000 AD context that I don't have, which is very sweet of him. So these are the earliest Nikolai Dante comics all collected into one volume. I haven't looked into this yet, I hope they do more of these, because I have also read this one. There'll be reviews to come of things, but I would like to be able to fill in the rest of the gaps of my knowledge of Nikolai Dante, because he was always one of my favourites, because this concept is this like futuristic world whereby in Russia's ruled by the Tsar, but then there's also like the Romanov family, and the Romanov family have these like weapons crests, which like bio bond to them, and they give them like special like cool abilities and stuff like this. And Nikolai Dante is essentially like this chaotic half Romanov, half the son of this pirate queen, and he's just like barreling through this universe, like upsetting everything essentially. And it's interesting because the Nikolai Dante that I am most familiar with is a more complex and morally nuanced character, I would say. And that's not to critique the early Nikolai Dante, but one of the things I like about Nikolai Dante is that he goes through this character growth. So it's interesting to compare this to what I do know of him. So yes, thank you, Dad. You're great. Continuing the comic vein, my friend Mark also sent me some comics. So he sent me X-Men Magic, Storm and Illyana, which focuses on the X-Men Magic, because our podcast, which we do together, You Know What I Like, link in the description below. One of my favourite episodes we did really recently was an X-Men interactive quiz. And one of the rounds was that he gave me a bunch of X-Men who've died, essentially. And he gave me, like, the setup for their story arc in which they die, and then I had to finish it off. And I got really attached to magic, because I spun out this, like, story of, like, love and betrayal and sadness and heartbreak and all this stuff. He very kindly gave me the actual magic context so I could, like, bond with who she actually is rather than, like, who I just imagined her to be. And then after that, he also got me Runaways, Find Your Way Home, because we're both stumbling through our 20s together, and that touched me, because, you know, you've been friends with someone for a long time, and they're, like, family to you, and, like, The Runaways is all about, like, this little dysfunctional family, like, trying to piece themselves back together again, and stuff like this. So, good comics. Now we move into the portion of the video which are all the books that I bought for myself on my birthday in a flurry of book buying, most of which are second hand, so like actually probably wasn't that much money, but it's a birthday, you know, you treat yourself on a birthday. I'll stop justifying it now, I'll just go into it. So first up is The City of Brass. I was so excited to spot this because I saw a Twitter thread from the author which was all about stories from 1001 Nights, I believe, and context behind, and I can't really remember the specifics at this moment in time, but it was really interesting. So I followed her, and then I saw that she had a book, and so then when this is sort of a rambling story, when I saw she had the book in the shop, I then bought the book. But I find 1001 Nights really interesting. This whole, like, Shahrazad blah is, like, a main focus that I've explored a lot, but I haven't really explored other things to do with that, other than, like, connected storytelling traditions and stuff like this. So I don't know a huge amount about this. I just know it involves jinn in some way, and I believe the story of the City of the Brass was to do with these wanderers coming upon it, and you know, you go in and then you do make fundamental mistakes and things come at you or something. I can't really, that's such a bad description, I'm sorry, but suffice to say, it's going to be an interesting sort of like fantasy sort of type thing, I think, and I think it's the start of a series, so here's hoping. Following on from that is a book which all of BookTube has been talking about for a very long time, and I've never gotten on the bandwagon, but now I have. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've not read any Sarah J. Maas. At this point, I'm just so familiar with her name I don't even know if everyone loves her anymore or if people have moved on and there's other things. But like, I haven't. I don't even really. I just got excited. She's like an assassin, and then it's like her freedom in return for one huge sacrifice. She must do like a to the death tournament. I'm assuming she lives because this is a series. But essentially, you know, when you just get tired of hearing people talk about an author so much that you're just like, I'm just gonna try it and I'll just see. If you've read Throne of Glass, would love to hear your thoughts. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Hopefully you liked it, because otherwise I've wasted money. Then we have Strange Magic by Sid Moore, which is, has like a cute little cover going on here. This is all witches, and I like me some witches. I don't read a lot about witches, so I'm looking to change that. I might save this one for Halloween, like, stereotypically, but I might. Rosie Strange doesn't believe in witches, and then she inherits the Essex Witch Museum, and I gather there's like a whole, like a mystery element, like a supernaturally element. Also, this might be a TV show or something, or a film, I don't know. Just really bad. All of half of these books, I'm like, it might be this, it might not be. This is where we're at. I mentioned in my last haul from a few months ago that I'm getting really interested in food writing. So, I spotted these two, and I thought I would add them to... I have two other food writing books. I have Julia Child and someone else. And I thought I would add these to them, because I've heard really good things, and I believe Ruby Tando recommended both of these. And Ruby Tando is the only food writing that I've read so far, and I loved it. So, on her recommendation, I've gone for The Gastronomical Me by stumbling because I'm so excited. MFK Fisher, who is like, in the world of food writing, a big name. I know of, don't know anything about, but know of. Also, gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I remember in this tweet thread that Ruby posted about authors, she was just gushing about, like, the quality of this writing and how evocative it is and stuff like that. So, this is going to be a high priority read, and Simon Sharma said the greatest food writer who's ever lived, so like high praise indeed. And then the other food writing is another one which Ruby recommended, which is Climbing the Mango Trees by Madhur Jaffrey, and a memoir of childhood in India. So it's sort of like a memoir through food is what I gather. So it's about her childhood and growing up and that sort of thing, but also food takes like a big role in it. So I think MFK Fisher is going to be more just like food, whereas this is like more of like a memoir with food, which I'm very interested in actually, because I love reading memoirs. So hopefully it will be like a combination and it will just be super, super fabulous. Okay, we've only got 2 books left. We're drawing to a close. So, penultimate book is another one that was a Jen Campbell recommendation actually, and she's just said it was so, so good, so I just had to get it. And that is The Gift of Rain by Tan Twang En. Number one, how lovely is this cover? Just simply lovely. Also, the sun has gone, is apparently setting. I'm sorry if it's dark now. I gather from the back that this is 16-year-old Philip Hutton is a loner, half English, half Chinese, and feeling neither, he discovers a sense of belonging in an unexpected friendship with Hayato Endo, a Japanese diplomat who trains him in the art and discipline of Aikido. I don't know why I stumbled over that word so much. I gather there is a secret, and a secret is revealed, and it has devastating consequences, and stuff like this. That's all I know, and based on Jen Campbell's, like, absolute, like, loving of this, I think this might be a really interesting, like, character-driven story. I don't really know anything more than that, and I'm excited to just sort of, like, discover why it was so wonderful, and see. Then, final book is Courtiers, The Secret History of the Georgian Court by Lucy Worsley. I love Lucy Worsley so much. She's one of my favourite historians. I just think she's a sweetie, and I just want to hang out with her. And she's always dressing up in costumes in all of her TV shows, and I'm just like, that is what I would do if I was given the money to do these things. And she just seems great. And so, like, this is self-explanatory. It's all about the Georgian court. I love history. We know that. I constantly go on about how much I love history. I've read some stuff. I've read a lot of historical fiction, I think, more than fact about the Georgian era, so I think it'll be interesting to just have, like, here's an actual factual look at it, rather than like, ooh, we've expanded upon this rumour to make a juicy plot point, or whatever. Before I call it a day, I just want to show you a couple of things which are not books, which were given to me for my birthday, which are great. I'm sorry if this is going on for too long, it's very nearly done. Right, first of all is Okay, well, in order to show you this pin, I also have to show you the bag. This is the bag. It has a quote from Constance Markievicz on it, which is, "Dress suitably in short skirts and strong boots, leave your jewels in the bag and buy a revolver." Constance Markievicz was a aristocratic Irish woman who was a revolutionary involved in the Easter Rising, and then wasn't executed because of her gender, for which she was furious about, which, like, I can respect. And then, like, later in life became a Sinn Féin politician. She was elected, but she never took a seat because Sinn Féin don't take their seat in Westminster. And she just, like, has such an interesting life. Anyway, the important bit is on the bag, which is this. Don't know if that's in focus. Hope it is. It's a tiny, sad-looking dragon, and it's by this amazing person who uses actual drawings found in marginalia of medieval manuscripts and turns them into enamel pins. So there is also a nun picking a penis tree and a rabbit jousting on a snail. I want them all, quite frankly. I can't remember the name right now, but I will leave a link in the description below to where you can find them. And then, God, some socks. Dumbledore would be proud of me. I got some good socks. So, I apologise, this has been worn. I haven't had time to wash it. But this is my Ada Lovelace sock. And they're by Chatty Socks, Cheeky Socks. Again, link in the description below, because I previously have some Vincent Van Gogh ones, which are great. And then finally, my amazing friend Leo knitted me bisexual socks. Have you ever seen anything better in your life? No, the answer is no, because they're incredible. That's it. I'll stop now. I feel like this will be very long, very rambly. I'm just very excited. Lots of lovely goodies have come into my life. I feel very blessed. I feel very grateful. People who love me and know me deeply as a person to buy me these gorgeous, gorgeous things. If you've read any of these books / want to read any of these books, just chat in the description below. Comments below, not description. That's for me, not for you. I'm going to go. Brain's melting. Have a lovely, lovely day. I will see you next week for something, probably a review of something. I don't know, but until then, have a lovely week.